In Gaza, the echoes of war have faded in some places, but what remains is far more haunting. The silence of empty cribs, the stillness of children too weak to cry. The United Nations has issued a stark and heartbreaking warning, saying that up to 14,000 babies could die within just 48 hours unless food and medical aid reach them. After 11 weeks of a near-total Israeli blockade, only a trickle of aid has entered the besieged enclave. Just about 5 trucks of food and baby formula were allowed in on May 19th. Now the UN calls it a drop in the ocean. Inside Gaza's shattered hospitals, mothers hold infants who weigh less than newborns. Many can no longer produce milk, malnourished themselves, starving alongside their babies. UN humanitarian chief Tom Fletcher said, and I quote him, "We are watching children waste away. Mothers can't feed them, babies are dying not from bombs but from empty stomachs." Now this crisis has drawn global outrage. The United States, United Kingdom, France, Canada, all of them have warned Israel of the humanitarian consequences of the blockade. They've all condemned the blockade as morally indefensible now, and they've all called for immediate, unhindered access. Now, in response, Israel has begun to ease the blockade, but only slightly and under immense diplomatic pressure. Yet, the picture on the ground is more complex than just border and politics. Israel accuses Hamas, the terrorist group that governs Gaza, of diverting humanitarian aid and using civilian infrastructure for military purposes and also embedding fighters in hospitals and schools. A senior Israeli official also told the United Nations, Hamas turns every aid shipment into a weapon of propaganda or worse, into material for war. And for many critics, Hamas's decision to launch a brutal October attack inside Israel, which killed over 1,200 civilians, including women and children, is what triggered the devastating military retaliation and the siege of Gaza. Now, Israel defends its blockade and airstrikes as a part of its right to self-defense, a response to what it sees as an existential threat from Hamas, the terror group of Gaza. But as always, it is civilians, especially children, who pay the heaviest price. Now, in northern Gaza, where supplies have vanished and infrastructure has collapsed, babies are being fed sugar water through syringes. Doctors are resorting to using vinegar to disinfect wounds. Food prices have soared by more than 1,200%. In fact, a single bottle of clean water can cost more than just a family's daily income. We are running out of time, says Fletcher. If we can't get 100 trucks in today, not next week, we will see mass death among children. Now, meanwhile, inside Gaza, Hamas remains entrenched. Despite the devastation, the group maintains tight control, often silencing critics, limiting international access to verify civilian conditions. In fact, you would be shocked to know this. Recently, in a TV interview, Hamas official Sami Abu Zuhri referred 53,000 deaths in Gaza as material calculations. Zuhri claimed Gaza women would give birth to replace those killed in Israeli strikes, and he made these statements while living comfortably about 1,000 miles away in Qatar. His remarks echoed Yahya Sinwar's belief that civilian deaths were necessary sacrifices. Now, at one point, forget about Israeli strikes. Think about those people who trusted this group for their rights. The group who never cared about Palestinians. They just wanted to rule the region. Because if they cared about Gaza and its people, the war could have ended way back and tens and thousands of lives could have been saved. But no, they want the world to see how Israel is attacking the civilians and gain sympathy. But Hamas's real face is not hidden anymore. The world is not with Hamas but with the people of Gaza. Some UN officials have also accused Hamas of politicizing aid delivery, choosing loyalty over need of the Gazans. And as Israel accuses them of hiding fighters in UN-run schools and hospitals, aid convoys are increasingly caught in the crossfire, both literal and political. So now the world watches and faces a test. Do we let Gaza's children become pawns in a war that they didn't start? Or do we demand that all sides, Israel, Hamas, and the international community, put humanity first? The babies of Gaza do not belong to any political party. They're not terrorists, they're not bargaining chips. They are just children who need to live. Now, the UN is trying to push about 100 trucks of food and medicine into Gaza by nightfall. But whether they arrive in time or not will decide whether this becomes a tragedy or a turning point. Thank you so much for watching this video with me, Shita Mitra. Stay tuned to India Today Global, where we simplify geopolitics for you.